When they fired Eric, I guess, and Kevin was taking over the book because Kevin didn't feel that there was money in us, so we knew we wouldn't be used, you know. And you can't fault Kevin for that. If he doesn't think that he can do a storyline that can make money with us, then that's his right. Mm-hmm. What I fought him for is he'd look at you in your face and tell you, oh, no, it's not me, it's this guy, it's that guy, all the backstab and lying bullshit. If he's the booker, he's responsible to make the company money. And if the company doesn't make money, he's going to get fired. So if he didn't think he can make money with us, I have no problem with that at all, you know. But it's the fact how they do it. They lie to your face and backstab you behind your back. Like I was working with Rick Steiner, so he thought he'd get Rick Steiner to beat me up. He told Rick Steiner that I was trying to get Hacksaw Duggan fired because I didn't want to work with Hacksaw Duggan, which all that is a lie. Not knowing Sullivan's such a fucking idiot, not knowing that Rick is going to come right up to me and ask me what's going on. And I tell him, I go, no, that didn't happen. He did something with Sid. Sid come up to me and said, hey, Perry, Kevin said, I don't remember what it was, you did this. And I go, I've been at Sid's house. You know I didn't fucking say that. Mm-hmm. But see, he'd like to cause problems. So, yeah, he's and just lying, me and Chris were the WCW Tag Team Champions, and when Eric wasn't there, he'd put us in single matches doing the job, and we would bitch and go, well, why aren't we defending the titles? You know, Eric said we're supposed to be defending the titles. You go, well, Eric's not here. This is what we're doing. If you don't like it, get a hold of Eric. So eventually, I got Eric's cell phone number, and then I would call Eric, and I say, Eric, we're not tagging together. We're doing. He'd go, put fucking Sullivan on the phone. I'd give Sullivan the phone. Then we'd be tagging together, going over. So there was big heat there because of that. Because I would call Eric on vacation and shit, and go, Eric, he has me working with so and so, Chris working with some so and so. We're both jobbing, and he'd go, no, I told him you guys were defending the belts, and you're going over. And I go, well, no, that's not what. You go, give him the phone.
Well, this leads us into Matthew Carl from Syracuse's question. Perry, on Kayfabe Commentaries, Kevin Sullivan and the End of WCW disc, available at kayfabecommentaries.com. Trying to help you out, Sean, thank you. Spelled my name wrong, though. He states that he was great to all of you guys and even went as far as putting the title on He Who Shall Not Be Named, Benoit. What's the truth? He says he was great to you guys.
The truth is that when Russo was there doing the storylines, this happened. This was how the heat got with Mike Graham and us, because Russo would have us in a match. He'd have us going over. Sullivan and Mike Graham would be the agent. They'd come to us and they would switch the finish where we're doing the job. We'd come back and Russo would go, what the fuck, why did you guys do the job? Because that's what they told us, to where we would only have Arn as our agent, because Arn was the only one giving us the finish they wanted us to do. So they're liars. Sullivan and Mike are fucking liars. There's no way around that. You can ask Russo about this. They would switch the fucking finish and have us doing the job, which I don't care. You see over my career, I've done a million jobs. I've done the job more than I've gone over. I don't care. I don't got an ego about that shit. But then don't do it to where you try to get me heat, you know? That's bullshit. I worked with Sid when they were calling him the Millennium Man, and Eric wasn't at the TV, and Sullivan laid out the match to me, and he had Sid squashing me, and I go, no, I'm not doing that. There's no way. I'll go out there back and forth, and we'll go over. And so then they changed the finish, and they had Steiner run in, this big thing. But Kevin got on the phone with Eric and told Eric that I went out there, I ate up Sid, and I refused to do the job. Well, Eric called me right up and asked me what happened. I go, no, that's not what fucking happened. See, they're fucking liars. Wow. Just like, you know, I run my mouth a lot about a lot of people, especially when I was bad. At night, I'd get really fucked up, you know, doing my pills and shit. And then the next day, I'd have to figure out what I did, you know, and especially it got bad when I had my own website, because I was trashing people high and not remembering it, you know, and I'm not trying to back out of it. Them were my thoughts, but I should have been more diplomatic about it. Like, I trashed Hogan on there once because Sullivan told me that we weren't getting pushed because Hogan said there was no money in us, calling us the vanilla midgets and shit like that. And it got me hot. And it said I should have approached Hogan. What I did in a fucking drugged out tirade, just buried him online. You know, the right thing to do would have been, because who knows, maybe he didn't say it now. You
Right.
look back, because Sullivan fucking lied all the time. He's a piece of shit, and there's no way around it.
Did other people there feel in your crew feel the same about Sullivan before you were all together, or were these guys friends with Sullivan from back in the day?
Eric Bischoff felt the same way, and I would ask him, Eric, why do you keep him? He goes, because every now and then he comes up with a finish that we make money on. And I would tell him, he's going to fuck you someday, watch. And sure enough, Eric lost his job, Kevin kept his.
All right, let's check out this video. More radical stuff here. Jason Worthing.
Perry, was Shane Douglas supposed to have been part of the deal to jump to the WWE when yourself, Malenko, Guerrero, and Benoit went in 2000 as the Radicals? In a shoot interview that Shane did many years ago, he said that he felt betrayed by the four of you, and his side of the story, he was part of the deal, and he kind of got left behind, screwed by you guys, in his words. What's your side of the story?
What it was a double fucking there, because well, when we talked to Vince didn't want Shane, because we did try to bring Shane with us. But while we were talking to Vince, Shane was talking to Bush, telling him, no, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry, I'll try to get these guys to stay. So we both fucked each other. You know, because Shane wasn't sure if he wanted to go to WWE. We had the opportunity. Vince wasn't crazy about he said he would take Shane if he had to. And Shane was telling us, well, I don't know if that's what we should do, you know. So then we said, fuck it, and went without him.
Right.
So it wasn't a conscientious thing to fuck him, but it wasn't like we tried to not fuck him either. And meanwhile, the whole time, he was going behind our back to Bill Bush, saying, or whatever Bush, the guy's name is, saying, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to get these guys to stay. So.
Playing both sides.
How could the last minute
All right,
Conan,
Adam.
Shane Douglas, and I believe Rey Mysterio decided to stay with WCW instead of leaving with you guys to go to the WWE?
Well, Shane, we know why that happened, but Conan and Ray.
I don't think Ray was ever part of the thing to go, and Vince wasn't interested in Conan at the time. Because what we were told exactly is that he would take Shane if he has to, and he's not really interested in Conan.
The Eliminators. Salvatore M., what's the wildest story from your bouncing days with Kronus?
We got a lot of crazy shit. He was so crazy. Fuck. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. I know that every night we used to joke, especially when we were working for Lawler down in Memphis. Every night that he was with a girl, the next day it'd be, man, that was the best pussy. He was in love every time. And like we would be with other boys like Reggie B. Fine or something, and I would tell him, watch, when John gets out here, here's what John's gonna say, verbatim. And he would do it every time. Wow, that was the best pussy I ever had. Oh, I can't even go on for hours about it every time.
Alan
You know
Wojcik.
what people don't know about John? John is illiterate. John can't read, can't write. One time, like I would tell him when we drive, you know, you got to take exit 14, you know. And if I told him a name, it would be screwed up. So we were driving home from Evansville back to Memphis. And I fell asleep, which I never did, while he was driving, you know. And he wakes me up. He goes, Perry goes, I don't think this is right. We've been working there like 6 months, so we've done this drive once a week for 6 months. I'm looking and we're crossing the Mississippi River. And I'm going, John, where the fuck are we at? When he was supposed to turn, I wasn't awake to tell him to turn, so he just kept driving us into Missouri and woke me up hours later.
And couldn't tell that the signs were saying other...
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I was mad. But it was my fault. I shouldn't have fallen asleep. I know how he is.
Jason Worthing, did anyone ever refuse to take your finisher, the total elimination? If so, and who was it?
No, no one ever refused.
Kevin Coleman, you had great in-ring team. You had a great in-ring team with Joan Kronus. What was your problems with him outside the ring?
For many years, no problem at all. But in the end, he got involved with drugs faster than I did, and just like a relationship, one person can't be sober and one person on drugs. It just doesn't work.
Bruiser Brock from the board at F4W, did you know that John had legit mental issues?
I just said that. The cuckoo check, we used to say. He could get a cuckoo check. John's was a great guy, but he was slow. There's no way around it. He couldn't read. You know, if he wrote something down, nobody could read what it was for sure. So.
Bruiser Brock also asked, did you feel Taz came between you and John as friends?
No.